Edward has become as a pauper family person. So this is what happened in the novel of Prince and the Pauper. So the thing is, a freak occurrence. A freak occurrence puts Edward looking like a pauper. Within a second, when the dresses has changed, so immediately, so Edward was watched by the outsiders as a pauper person. On to life on the streets, and Tom in royal dress was left in the palace as Edward. The meantime becomes King of England due to the death of Henry VIII. So soon after these two of them were changed, the clothes, and Tom was left over there as a prince, and Edward has come out as a pauper. So immediately, so soon after these two of them has exchanged their clothes and they have left the places, transferred their places. So immediately the king dies. So the prince has to be crowned as a king. From here on, each in their mistaken identities encounter a series of exciting, humorous, scarring adventures which finally lead to a happy and interesting ending. So even though the climax, the turning point, so the turning point happens when the meeting of the two boys becomes the turning point of the novel. So from here onwards, the novel intensifies. So thereafter, almost all the things changes in this novel. So now you would have aware about all things about the background of the novel. So thereafter only just we can go for the chapter-wise analysis. So in chapter-wise analysis, so all these aspects which I have given to you will be reflected in each chapters. So there are altogether 33 chapters are there. So the final will be the conclusion. So altogether 32 chapters. So in these 32 chapters, so almost all the things will be, that means all the historical things might be indirectly incorporated. So when you start reading, so you have to think, you have to connect those literary background and you have to read the novel. So when you, that means when you're answering a question for in the exam paper, even if you point out certain historical background along with the analysis, then of course you will score marks, right? So finally, we will see the techniques used by the author, as well as here of course you can see most of the languages used in this novel, maybe that means thou, thee, thine. So most of these are we call it as these words appear mostly in the Shakespearean dramas, but here also he uses much of these words here to give some attention to the readers. Therefore, you don't need to worry about that. So even if you get familiar to these words, then you will understand what the novel says. So this is not going to be as a hindrance for your reading. So the language itself, it has some sort of, there may be difficulties in understanding these words, but it doesn't hamper a lot. Anyhow, we'll go further about this one. That means since you have learned this similes, metaphor, metonymy and all these things, most of the figures of speech, figurative languages also appear in this novel. So before I wind up from here, please try your level best. That means the thing is, before I wind up, you must remember one thing. From today onwards, you start reading novel. The time factor is very limited. Then, of course, we will rush on this novel since we have, because for the vendor series, we have only have 13 chapters. Then, of course, we can finish it very soon. But here, of course, altogether 33 chapters are here. So it will take some time. So because of the time factor, we will rush on this one. So for the next class, I hope to do at least 5 or 10 chapters at a stretch. So please be intact with this one. So we will let you know when we will do this, the next class to you.